Tommy Robinson has won his court case. This is a really, really big deal. So let me give you a rundown if you're not familiar. Tommy Robinson, hopefully everyone knows who he is. He was basically the first person to publicly start speaking out against the Pakistani rape gangs, which we now know are a thing. He was right. He's been through hell. He's been into prison multiple times, found guilty of contempt of court and all kinds of spurious nonsense. This particular court case related to him. He was driving a friend's car from England to Europe. They have the tunnel that they can drive through. And he was stopped at the border and he was interrogated under anti-terror provisions. And the police officers basically profiled him and used their terror, the powers they're given under the UK anti-terror legislation to demand access to Tommy Robinson's phone. He refused. He refused to give them his PIN. Now, they detained him and he got prosecuted for failing to obey and blah, blah, blah. He defended himself in court, funded by Elon Musk, by the way, and he's given credit to Elon Musk for his defense. He said, look, without Elon Musk, I'd be in prison now because I couldn't have afforded to defend myself. The judge was scathing of the police. The judge flat out said the police had no good reason to stop him. They had no good reason to believe that he was in any way involved in terrorism, and no good reason to try and use terrorism powers against him, and that they profiled him on the basis of his politics, which is a protected characteristic under UK law. You're not allowed to do that. What's really significant to me is that a judge would stick their neck out on behalf of Tommy Robinson. It would have been so much easier for that judge to go, oh, it's Tommy Robinson. I'd better give the government what I know they want against this guy who's been a thorn in their side for so long. Not only did the judge not do that, the judge absolutely attacked the police. And I think that's yet another indicator that times they are changing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there is a massive groundswell of nationalism in England. And actually, I wasn't going to bring this up, but oh my God, here we are. You probably saw this story. We need a Jamie, man. We do. Yeah. Okay, so.
Mind you, our Jamie would have to be a mind reader because we don't know in advance where we're going. So our Jamie needs to be like a psychic to be able to have all the stuff ready for us when we're like, oh, hey, let's go down this tangent.
And be able to type like this. Okay, so this is a story. I'm sharing the BBC, so you can say I'm not biased and only sharing the right-wing talking points. But basically, Whitechapel, one of the most working-class areas of London, has now replaced all of its English signs with this. Now, this article is from 2022. And you can see there's a massive Bangladeshi community in East London. But now we're getting to the point where most of the signs are now no longer in English.
That is not useful.
It's not useful. But this bothers me. So like I said, this is a 2-year-old article. This is from 2022. But there's a lot of this happening now. And rightfully so, a lot of Britons are starting to get outraged about it. Whitechapel, isn't that one of the little Monopoly squares? Whitechapel Road?
Goodness, I couldn't even tell you. It's been so long since I played. Been so long. But what's... Oops.
But...
Yeah. Sorry.
So this is interesting because it's England. Their native tongue is English, yet signs are now being replaced with Bangladesh. What do you call it? I don't know what their language is. But... and rightfully so, the British are starting to get really pissed off, as you should. There is nothing wrong with people migrating over, but if you're in England, we speak English, assimilate. and it's assimilate 100%.
You come to England to become English.
100%. And, we're seeing a lot of this now. I'm conscious of seeing a lot of this stuff being ramped up on X. A lot of people talking about Islam here in Australia and how, and a lot of people are sharing old articles. I saw a couple of articles today talking about one of the Muslim Brotherhood backers speaking about how Australian women need to be inseminated by Muslim men and we need to eradicate the white race. Now, the reason I bring this up is this has been bubbling away for decades. This is not new. It's only now getting to a point where people start to feel like they can speak up. So I feel like that ceiling around racial people being really delicate around race has broken, and not in a good way. This can go one or two ways. This is the race riots, which I've been warning about for 6 months, or people who are white start to grow a backbone and go, hey, man, I have no issue with you, but you're not going to tell me what I can do in my country, and we speak my language here. So nationalism is rising. I mean, we've just seen like Japan's elected a very ethno-nationalist conservative leader. You've got someone like Trump who's deporting all the illegals. But unfortunately, you've got Macron and you've got the EU and you've got Albo and bloody Canary, what's his name, Carney in Canada, who are still very much on the open borders bus. So
their time is coming, though. The French situation is very, very interesting. Macron's hold on power is by no means assured, and we're watching the rise of Marine Le Pen. They've tried to take her out. I mean, talk about a Pauline Hanson type of experience. They've done exactly the same thing to her, and yet she's survived. And so she's yet another example of someone who's been through that baptism of fire and is rising really quickly. But people are running out of patience for the games that have been played. And I want to switch to another piece of international news and the games that have been played. The Epstein list is without question an area where games have been played. We saw when Joe Biden was president, the Republicans were saying we need the list, and then the Democrats are saying no. Then once Trump was in, he said he was going to release the list, and then he completely botched it on purpose or not. We've talked about that before. Who knows? But the Democrats then started saying, oh, well, why won't he release the list? It's like, well, you could have released the list while you had control of every House of Parliament and the presidency. So now Marjorie Taylor Greene is a longtime Trump ally. I actually met her when I was at Mar-a-Lago early last year. She'd just released a new book, and she was there at the event. And she has become really disenfranchised with a lot of what's been going on, particularly around the Epstein stuff. Now, what she has come out and said point blank, and I hope she's got really good security. She has said, Marjorie Taylor Greene says that she will read the names of government officials who are in Epstein's list on the House floor. So she's in Congress. So, and like in Australia, what you say on the floor of Parliament during official proceedings is protected. You can't be sued for defamation. You can't be, you are protected from all legal repercussions. It is a place where you can say absolutely anything. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is saying she's going to use that protection to read out the names of government officials. So she's targeting, obviously, American government officials. I hope she's got really good security. I would love to see this happen. There is the caveat that we've talked about before, that there are going to be names in that list that actually didn't do anything wrong. Yeah. And that might be the reason why there's been all this nonsense around release it, don't release it, releasing it, but not really releasing it, all this kind of nonsense that's gone on. And I'm mindful of that. But I like the fact that Marjorie Taylor Greene is not letting this go, and she's making the threat that she's making. And I hope that gets some movement on the Epstein front.
Yeah. I agree. Another thing too, just on the whole cultural shift thing, I've seen a couple of X posts today. So firstly, there's two celebrities who have been particularly woke and particularly outspoken. One is Jennifer Lawrence, you might know her from the Hunger Games, and the other was Rachel Zegler, who was the Snow White in that absolutely catastrophic Disney dumpster fire of a movie, Snow White.
Yep.
And Rachel Zegler, they're both going different directions. Now, Jennifer Lawrence is an insufferable celebrity. I quite like her as an actress, and I quite like the Hunger Games, but I think what happens with a lot of these Hollywood types is they become incredibly insular, like I said, live in echo chambers, and then they really feel like they're doing something for the people, but they're so far removed and they don't realize what they're talking about. So she came out a little while ago basically saying she was the first action hero ever as a woman, and Sigourney Weaver in Alien was just like, Anyway, long story. And then, so she's just come out, and you can read this tweet here. So she's come out in an interview saying that she'll no longer speak out against Trump because no one cares what celebrities have to say anymore. As we've learned, celebrities not make a difference whatsoever on who people vote for. So then why am I doing it? Now, she's not doing that because of that. She's realized it's actually dangerous to her career. Now, everything that these celebrities do, all they care about is themselves, their paychecks, and making sure that they are on the next train. And you guys can see the rats are jumping off the ship. They're jumping on the next train out of here. And that train is to become apolitical, back in your lane and do your thing. Now, the other contrast is to Rachel Zegler, who's just come out saying that, it should be an honorable thing that celebrities talk about things because they're representative of the people and all this sort of stuff. So she's doubling down. Which one's going to have a career at the end of this?
Yeah. No, it's really interesting the way the world. Sorry, you go.
No, go.
I was just going to say, the way the world is going, we've taken it for granted that the arts are going to be left. And we've taken it for granted that they're going to wear that with pride. They're going to shove it down our throats. They're going to be vocal about it. That wasn't always the case. There was an era, in the golden era of Hollywood, they really did kind of keep all that stuff to themselves. They were just trying to be entertainers and celebrities and obviously cash in on that fame that came with that. The more modern approach, and it has been about 40 years, the more modern approach of celebrities using their celebrity status to try and influence and change everybody else's minds and change how they vote has run concurrently with companies doing the same thing. This whole idea that companies have to be responsible corporate citizens and they have to have all this, but they're no longer just focused on delivering the best possible product at the best possible price. They're now going to be about all these other things. That's being stripped away as well. We're watching companies, they're abandoning all the rainbow stuff during Pride Month. They're backing off on a lot of the ESG and the DEI stuff. We're watching lawsuits in the US, not many, but there are enough lawsuits that it's changing the culture against directors that have actually harmed shareholder value by pursuing things other than the best interests of the company. Fiduciary duty, for those that want to look it up. There are lawsuits on this. We're watching the entire culture is being sort of reined back in and being told, hey, listen, stay in your lane. If you're the director of a company, do what's best for the company and stay out of everything else. If you're an actor, be a good actor and stay out of everything else. And that is the next, that is the wave that's happening now. Jennifer Lawrence is reading the tea leaves and she's seeing where that's going. In the same way that Volvo did. Volvo were one of the first ones to ride that wave of being progressive and being out there with their politics and all that stuff. They were one of the first major companies globally to start sponsoring gay pride parades and so forth. Now, their most recent pivot has been back to family values. Not because they've changed their mind, not because they really support families, or you would have to question whether they even really supported the gay agenda, right? It's actually a matter of they were just reading the tea leaves of where the money was going to be in the future. And they were right in the 70s to jump on that train. That served them quite well. But they're also right now to be getting off that train.
All right, whoa. You mean to tell me you've watched all the way to this point, an entire segment of the Oddcast, and you're still not subscribed? Seriously, what is wrong with you? Just subscribe, like, share. Tell everybody. You had fun, right? Tell everybody else. Let them have some fun too. And listen, buy me some coffee, please. I'm desperate. I'm starting to get the shakes. There's a coffee. That one. Scan that coffee, please, now. Thanks.